Step into Think Wise, where we uncover the secrets of the mind. Can you really spot a psychopath? Most people can't. They aren't the villains for movies. They could be your charming coworker, caring friend, or even the perfect partner. Today, we'll reveal 10 subtle psychological signs that usually go unnoticed, giving you the insight to protect your mind, relationships, and your safety. Sign 1. Fake charm. Psychopaths often use what experts call fake charm, a polished, practiced friendliness designed to control and manipulate. Unlike genuine kindness, this charm is calculated, crafted to appeal to your preferences, and can switch on or off depending on who's watching or what they want. Dr. Robert Hare, creator of the FBI Psychopathy Assessment Test, identifies fake charm as one of the most reliable early warning signs. It's not real warmth, it's a hunting tool. Watch for charm that disappears when you're alone or when they no longer need anything from you. Notice if it feels too good to be true or changes dramatically between public and private moments. At first, it feels magnetic. You may see them as caring or fascinating. Over time, inconsistencies appear and the charm fades once their goal is achieved, exposing its manipulative purpose. Sign 3. Playing the victim. Psychopaths often craft stories portraying themselves as perpetual victims to gain sympathy and resources. These carefully constructed narratives are designed to make you feel sorry for them and eager to help. Research shows they excel at telling emotionally compelling stories that bypass rational thinking, pushing your protective instincts and lowering critical judgment. Unlike real victims, their stories follow predictable patterns: betrayal, jealousy, or injustice, all aimed at manipulating you into giving them what they want. Everyone in their past is portrayed as terrible. Every ex was abusive, every boss jealous, every friend a traitor. If someone always casts themselves as the victim, blaming everyone else, this is a major warning sign. Real life is more nuanced. People have both good and bad relationships. Psychopaths, however, consistently paint themselves as wronged, using the strategy to gain sympathy, trust, and resources.
Sign 4. Using people. Psychopaths exploit others for money, status, housing, or emotional support while giving almost nothing in return. Research shows they treat relationships purely as opportunities to extract resources, seeing people as tools rather than individuals with needs or feelings. They often isolate you from anyone who might see through their patterns, undermining friends or family and making themselves your sole source of support. This leaves you vulnerable when problems arise. Their parasitic behavior can take many forms. They may move in without contributing, borrow money repeatedly without paying back, or use your car, connections, and resources while offering nothing. Setting boundaries can trigger guilt or manipulative charm to regain control. These relationships feel one-sided because they are. You give, they take, and somehow they make it seem like the problem lies with you, not them. Sign 5. Enjoying harm. Psychopaths often take pleasure in causing pain, even when there's no personal gain. Research shows their brains activate reward centers when witnessing others' distress. They literally feel good when others suffer. This is one of the most disturbing warning signs. They test boundaries with small cruelties and gradually escalate, often targeting vulnerable people. Subtle put-downs disguised as jokes can grow into public humiliation or more direct harm. They observe reactions carefully, gauging how much they can get away with. This behavior is deliberate, not impulsive. It's calculated and methodical, designed to assert power and control. Psychopaths often target those less likely to resist or who are isolated. If someone seems to enjoy others' pain, creates unnecessary drama, or delights in watching people struggle, trust your instincts. This is far from normal behavior and a serious psychological warning sign. Sign 6. Thinking they're special. Psychopaths often maintain an inflated sense of self-worth, believing they are superior to everyone else. Rules don't apply to them, and they feel entitled to privileges that others don't receive. This grandiosity isn't simple confidence or high self-esteem. It's a deliberate psychological strategy to dominate and manipulate. You'll notice it in how they talk about themselves and others. They're always the smartest person in the room, always right, and see everyone else as inferior. They expect special treatment because, in their mind, they're extraordinary. This sense of superiority also prevents them from taking responsibility. When things go wrong, it's always someone else's fault. They cannot be wrong because they are too special to make mistakes. This makes genuine, equal relationships impossible, as their grandiosity consistently undermines trust, fairness, and mutual respect. Sign 7. Twisting words. Psychopaths are masters of linguistic manipulation, twisting facts, telling half-truths, and using clever words to confuse and control. This isn't ordinary lying, it's a calculated, sophisticated use of language to distort reality. They blend truth with lies so seamlessly you can't tell where one ends and the other begins. and they'll even use your own words against you, twisting them into something completely different. Their language bypasses logic and appeals directly to your emotions, making you more vulnerable to control. Forensics ecologists note that spotting small lies, overly perfect stories, or shifting details is key to recognizing this tactic. Watch for inconsistencies, rehearsed answers, or overly polished explanations. They're also skilled at gaslighting, denying things they clearly said or did until you doubt your own memory. This manipulation of truth and perception is one of their most powerful tools. Sign 8. Reckless behavior. Many psychopaths engage in impulsive, thrill-seeking behaviors with little regard for consequences. Research links this to underactive brain regions responsible for behavioral inhibition, making them prone to reckless decisions. What seems exciting or daring at first often reflects a deeper disregard for social and personal boundaries. They might drive dangerously, spend money recklessly, engage in risky sexual behavior, or make impulsive choices affecting others without concern. This impulsivity isn't ordinary spontaneity. It's a consistent pattern showing no regard for safety or the well-being of others. They seek stimulation and excitement without the normal fear responses that keep most people cautious. At first, this fearlessness can seem attractive or adventurous. Over time, however, their recklessness extends to how they treat you. They act without thinking about consequences, meaning they won't hesitate to harm you if it serves their immediate desires. Sign 9. No real plans. Psychopaths often focus on immediate gain rather than long-term planning. Unlike typical ambition, their goals are opportunistic, designed to maximize advantage with minimal effort. Psychologists see this as part of a strategic exploitation mindset. When they do plan for the future, it's not for personal growth or building something meaningful. It's about identifying the next person to exploit or the next opportunity to take advantage of. Their foresight serves manipulation rather than genuine achievement. They might talk a big game about future plans and dreams, but nothing ever materializes. They don't follow through because they're not actually interested in building anything. They're interested in taking from what others have built. This also means they don't learn from past mistakes. They don't reflect on their behavior or try to improve. They simply move on to the next opportunity, the next victim, the next source of supply. There's no genuine growth or development happening. Sign 10. Fake relationships. Finally, psychopaths form relationships without genuine attachment. They mimic intimacy, create dependency, and withdraw when you're no longer useful. Psychologists note these shallow connections are often instrumental, designed to meet their needs rather than build real trust or emotional bonds. At first, they can seem incredibly close. You might share secrets, experience intense bonding, and feel understood. But it's all a performance. They play a role, saying and doing what manipulates you into attachment. Once they secure your trust and dependency, the mask begins to slip. Over time, the relationship feels hollow because it is. You may feel lonely even when with them, realizing you don't truly know them despite months or years of closeness. Behind the mask, there's no real person, just behaviors designed to get what they want. Protection, the gray rock method. So what should you do if you notice these signs in someone around you? Direct confrontation is risky. Psychopaths don't react like normal people. They escalate, manipulate, or retaliate. Psychologists recommend the gray rock method. Become uninteresting, predictable, and emotionally neutral. Share minimal personal information, avoid emotional reactions, and keep responses short and bland. Psychopaths feed on admiration and fear. Give them neither. Document all interactions, messages, emails, incidents, as proof if needed. Quietly build a support network without announcing your plans or boundaries. Knowledge is your strongest protection. Understanding these patterns removes confusion and self-doubt, empowering you to protect your mental and emotional health, maintain boundaries, and reduce their influence in your life. Awareness is the key to staying safe. Psychopaths aren't just difficult, they're neurologically wired to process emotions and social cues differently. No amount of love or patience changes that. By recognizing 10 subtle signs, fake charm, empty feelings, manipulation, recklessness, and more, you can protect yourself before harm escalates. Trust your instincts. Confusion is your brain's warning. Awareness, boundaries, and documentation are your best defense. At Think Wise, we help you understand human behavior so you can stay safe, set limits, and preserve emotional health.